Ben Shapiro is trying to go on a media tour to save face for the Daily Wire, firing Candace Owens. And now Ben Shapiro is over on Megyn Kelly's show. And I think he's getting embarrassed every single place that he goes. Ben Shapiro went over to Piers Morgan, got embarrassed. Ben Shapiro did an interview with Dave Rubin, who tried to give him softball questions and support Ben Shapiro, but he still gave questions that are just super hypocritical and just show like the real reasons why Candace Owens got fired. And Megyn Kelly, of course, isn't going to back down from asking Ben Shapiro these same hard questions either. Let's see if Ben Shapiro actually answers them this time, or does he embarrass himself and the Daily Wire once again when asked by Megyn Kelly if, why Candace Owens got fired from the Daily Wire. Let's check this out and see what Ben Shapiro has to say for himself on this one, and see what Megyn Kelly, how hard Megyn Kelly pushes Ben Shapiro on this Daily Wire situation.
This is secure, unlike that at our southern border. I've got to ask you about the recent departure of Candace Owens. I know it's a subject that you probably don't want to discuss, but I would be remiss if I didn't at least go there.
I know, I'm sorry I paused so early, but every single time Ben Shapiro goes on one of these shows and is asked about Candace Owens, look at his face. He is so damn smug, man. He is, I'm telling you, he's trying to send you the message of, yeah, I fired Candace Owens, and there's nothing that you or Candace can say or do about it. Like, just look at his face as he's answering these questions. Watch him.
She left. It made tons of news. The right loves to eat its own, so they loved this. Either Ben's bad or Candace is bad, but somebody's bad, and we love it. It's like the right likes to eat the left, and they love to eat their own. They have absolutely no instinct for like self-preservation over on the right, or like keeping their own coalition together. It's kind of interesting to watch. But I'm sure that whole thing was rather unpleasant. It's now spun into a debate about whether the Daily Wire is pro-free speech. The accusation is you are until it comes to Israel. How do you respond?
I mean, what I will say is that we have a wide variety of positions on Israel right now inside the Daily Wire. Matt Walsh, obviously, is another one of the hosts at the Daily Wire. He and I wildly disagree about what America's Israel policy should be.
That is not disagreeing on Israel. I don't know why Ben Shapiro keeps saying this, but Matt Walsh's stance is not the same as Candace Owens' stance. It is not even close. Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro is using this as like the token anti-bad country in the Middle East person of the Daily Wire now. Like, instead of having token minorities and token women and things like that, now we have token anti-that country in the Middle East that I can't say too many times. Now we have those kinds of people, like Matt Walsh is now existing in the Daily Wire. And Ben Shapiro is really milking Matt Walsh's position, which is America shouldn't be as involved in that war because it doesn't involve us. And that's basically every single America First person's position, which is why Ben Shapiro can't be America First, which is why the Daily Wire can't be America First. But that's just the normal America First position, and is not anything close to what Candace Owens was saying. Candace Owens also agrees with that, but Candace Owens also was taking that line of questioning further to a point where Matt Walsh knows he can't take his line of questioning because then he will get the Candace Owens treatment. And, there could be other things coming from Candace Owens as well. Other people who have gone down that line of questioning have seen a lot of repercussions. So hopefully that doesn't happen to Candace, but it could. So I don't know why Ben Shapiro keeps bringing up Matt Walsh's position, which is America shouldn't be as involved in that war. And it's probably the same for other wars as well, because that's just the America First position. But it's nothing close to what Candace Owens was saying. And he keeps using this as like the shield against all criticism of the Daily Wire.
Should be. Matt is much more isolationist. He basically believes the United States has no real interests in the Middle East, and thus the United States should not be providing material support to anyone, including the state of Israel. Matt obviously is well within the sort of group of hosts that we have here at the Daily Wire. So clearly whatever is going on is not about Israel specifically. That's really all I have to say about it. As far as the free speech of it, as I've said before, the Daily Wire is a publisher, not a platform.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get back to the video.
I would never call for anyone to be ousted from an actual platform, X, YouTube. Even people who are, I think, absolutely horrific human beings, I've never called for any of them to be ousted. In fact, I've called for them to have their accounts restored if they've been banned. That's not the same thing when it comes to publishers. Publishers obviously have to decide what sort of things they wish to pay for the publication of, and when it comes to hosts and publishers parting ways, obviously there'll be a non-meeting of the minds. That's pretty much all I can say on that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how Ben Shapiro can say the Daily Wire, like when asked the question of, are you pro free speech until it comes to that certain country, which is what everybody thinks. That's what I think as well. And then he says, oh, no, that can't be the case because we have a wide variety of opinions on all different topics, including the Middle East, And then he then goes on to say, right after that, directly after that. But the Daily Wire is a publisher, and we don't have to publish any opinions that we don't actually want to publish, basically saying Candace Owens was fired for her opinions because we don't want to publish opinions of Candace Owens because we don't agree with the opinions of Candace Owens. So which one is it? Do you have a wide variety of opinions, and are you pro free speech until it comes to that certain country? Or did you fire Candace Owens for her opinions? I don't know, like, which one is it? They can't both exist at the same time. So yeah, I mean, I understand what he's saying. He's pro free speech because he doesn't want Candace Owens fired from any, or, deplatformed from any platforms. But, you can't say that, oh, no, of course we're pro free speech. We have Matt Walsh who got shut down in an interview or a podcast with Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring when he was trying to go down the same line of questioning as Candace Owens. He got shut down and he knows his place, so he won't keep going. Candace Owens said, no, I'm not going to be shut down by Ben Shapiro or Jeremy Boring or anyone at the Daily Wire. I'm going to ask these questions because I believe it's in pursuit of the truth. You can't use it as a shield that we have Matt Walsh, who doesn't, who he's like kind of Candace Owens light on the situation. But then also go on to say, oh, but we don't have to publish any opinions that we don't want to. Like, well, that kind of says that you're not really pro free speech. That kind of says that you want an echo chamber over at the Daily Wire, in my opinion. Let me know in the comments if I'm completely off base. Maybe I am.
This is why I don't go into business with anybody else, Ben. This is why I like to just be on my own little island here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you've done really well on that island, so.
Well, it's good to have partnerships. Like I love working with the Daily Wire, and I've never found you guys anything other than pro free speech and the defense of it. Doesn't mean you have to be in business, as you point out, with people, no matter what they say. And I think Candace will do fine on her own. It wasn't a good match. I for one, applaud the separation for a number of reasons.
And we also have Candace Owens, who is firing back at all the criticism over on Twitter or X, now that she is unleashed, not tied to the Daily Wire in any way other than some probably NDAs and things like that. That's keeping her from really, really going off on the Daily Wire and exposing everything that's happening. We have this tweet here from Dave Rubin after his interview there with Ben Shapiro that I talked about earlier. That was a very, very softball interview. But Dave Rubin says, I like Ben Shapiro, I like Tucker Carlson, and we have bigger fish to fry than each other. Let's build some bridges, says Dave Rubin. Candace Owens responds to that with laughing faces because, she knows more about the situation than we do. And that's a fact. And she probably sees something in this clip. It's 9 minutes long. I've already done a video on this interview, so I'm not going to play the full 9 minutes. But it was a very smug interview from Ben Shapiro, not answering any questions, but also answering them at the same time, kind of putting Candace Owens down the whole time. And Candace Owens just responds to it with laughing faces because she knows it's all nonsense. Everything that she is saying, she keeps responding to a lot of tweets that are, talking about the Christ is King statement being, bad for reasons, and just saying, Jesus is King, Christ is King. No Soup for Knowles says, Candace, why did you never tweet? And I believe this is a Michael Knowles Stan account or something. I don't know. I can't keep up with all the nonsense. Candace, why did you never tweet Christ is King until you were mad at Ben Shapiro? And then she responded with a screenshot from 2020, December 25th, saying that Jesus is King back in 2020. So it wasn't just, whenever she started getting mad at Ben Shapiro. And then also she tweeted out earlier today that she hit 5 million followers over on X, on Twitter. So she's not hurting. That's for damn sure. Candace Owens is still going strong. And let me actually move it up so you can actually see. But wow, 5 million followers. I remain so grateful to each and every one of you for supporting me on this journey and believing in me through every life transition. Thank you all. And I think this one will probably gain her the most amount of followers, this whole thing that she's going through right now. Andrew Tate actually responded to this and said they're in trouble. I guess Andrew Tate's also waking up to the whole thing as well. It's pretty crazy. A lot of people were responding to this and saying, like Ian Carroll says, authenticity earns respect. You've earned every bit of it. A lot of people responding to this tweet saying, like, we respect, the fact that you're willing to stand your ground and, support a certain line of questioning that not many people are willing to actually support, actually go down and live with the consequences. So let me know in the comments what you're thinking about Megyn Kelly's questioning of Ben Shapiro. Did you think she did a good job, or do you think she went a little bit soft on him? I personally think she went a little bit soft on him because, it's all a business, right? And she doesn't want to burn any bridges with the Daily Wire. She doesn't want to burn any bridges with Ben Shapiro. It's all a business at the end of the day. So let me know in the comments what you're thinking about Ben Shapiro once again responding to the Candace Owens firing stuff in the comments. And if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and hope to see you guys on the next one.